Okay, Trump has been found guilty of all 34 counts up in that sham and scam of a trial in New York. No real surprise, he'll get a bump out of this. This will probably pull a lot of the people off of that fence of, well, I can't decide what's right and what's wrong. Okay, but this is going to be the catalyst. I'm going to put this up on both channels because it means something different to the people on both channels. On integrative preparedness, it means that you need to be preparing even more. You need to get busy. Whatever you're doing, things are about to bust, and you better be ready for it. I said that this summer was coming. There's a fuse been lit. This is, I think they just came and lit the middle of the fuse on this one. For the people on American Reversion, it means that this is an opportunity to really show people what's going on in this country, how corrupt this justice system is. This is no surprise, we've been talking about it, but there is no clearer indication and proof of the weaponization of the justice system than this. Many of you know that I left law enforcement way back in the 80s for this very reason. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more on Patreon, the particulars of why I left. I never talked about that before, but it was because I saw the justice system weaponized against the American citizen. I'd never had much respect for federal law enforcement after that, and when I would talk about that to other people that think I was crazy, we have seen, and normal people have seen, what's gone on with the FBI and others since then, and finally the American public is waking up. You know, we have two horses going here. That's why I had two channels. That's why I started the American Reversion. The people on integrative preparedness, they didn't want to talk about politics. They didn't think that they thought that politics was broken. They didn't want to hear about it, so I started American Reversion. American Reversion was for those people who really thought there might be a chance to bring this country back from where it was headed, where it had gone, the point to which it had declined, and maybe recover some of what America was supposed to be. I still have a foot on each one of those horses. You've seen that Roman rider where the guy's riding on two horses, standing up, one foot on each two horses. Well, that's where I am, and we're coming to a jump. We're about to make a jump. I'm going to stay on these two horses because I think one part of my brain says this country cannot be redeemed. It is no coming back from where we're going. If you've read Glubb's Fate of Empires, you understand that. And I have felt like that since the 70s, okay? So don't come on and tell me, are you just not waking up to this? No, I'm not just waking up to this. I've been thinking about it since the 70s. But I've also been holding on to some hope because we see, you know, politics is ebbs and valleys. And the other foot, of course, on the hopes is on the horses is I think we can bring it back. Well, I still have a foot on each one of those horses, but when they diverge enough to where I can only keep a foot on one, I'm going to the one that says this country is over for good. Okay, now, like I said, this might bring a lot more support for Trump for those people who have been in the middle, those wishy-washies who didn't want to be involved, who thought, okay, I can't decide what's right and wrong. Well, if you can't decide after this, I don't know what to tell you. The people involved in this from the very bottom to the very top need to be held to account and punished. You know, that's the thing. In the past, when we said we're gonna hold these people to account, what has happened? Nothing. You know, you'll get some posers out of Congress saying these people are going to be held accountable. Nah, they're not held accountable until they're punished. These people need to be taken through the ringer until they have nothing left. Until, you know, I used to tell when I was teaching young cops out on the street, I said, if anybody ever swings at you, you deal with them in such a way. This was back when we kept crime to a minimum. Now, I didn't go around thumping on people that didn't try to thump me first, but I said, if anybody swings at you, you deal with them in such a way that the story will spread, and not only will they never try it again, but neither will anybody else. I write about that in my books. That's the way you handle things like this. And these people need to be held to account and punished. We will see what happens. We will see. Keep your comments under control, please, so that I don't have to pull them. Okay? It's important that this get around. This will be appealed and it will be overturned. Doesn't matter. What matters is this happened in the United States. For you people, you good people in New York, there's got to be a couple of dozen of you. I'm sure there's millions of good people in New York. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We're seeing every city become this. Trump ought to pull everything out of there. People ought to punish the state and the city of New York. That's the only one this happens. That's the only way this gets taken care of. And we will see. This is just the start, folks. This is just the start to the summer that I promised is going to be a summer to remember. So for you people, well, everybody out there on both channels, prepare like you never have before. And if you're a person who feels that you can fight politically, do it, because this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity like you haven't seen probably in your lifetime. All right, we'll see what happens next. You all have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.